Forgetting about this. I'm making you this because I need you to understand, and I love you first off, but I'm still angry and hurt, and I say that with knowing that it's not you. It's just the way the world is. It's systemic. That people don't get hurt, or people don't believe that people are getting the help they need, or whatever with mental illness stuff. I'm gonna eat here. Sorry, but. You know, I had the same thing in Montana as I had here, a PACT team, but there was no PACT team. There was no services because there weren't any services. I went to the emergency room with suicidal ideation. That's how I got to Minot. That's what got me to the crisis center. That's what I had in Butte as well. It got me nowhere because there was no services. They were there, they were supposed to be there, and in all theory they were there because this is a statewide, this is a federal thing now for crisis hotlines, have crisis centers, transitional living facilities in between, but there just wasn't any in Butte or Montana really, not like here. I guess Minot is the best, well, someone I know thinks it's the best human resource center in North Dakota. It's much better than Bismarck. On that note, I don't know if you've ever wondered why I didn't go back to Bismarck. Well, there's lots of people that know I've been back 2 months, an hour and a half away, and I have yet to hear from anyone. I contacted a couple people, but yeah, it's just been nothing. It's just like before. So I have to build a new community, and I have. But I need you to know how much that hurt me when you wouldn't believe me. Because I still get to say how I felt. I'm not perfect, I know, and I wish I'd talked to you more about how you were doing because I was just in my own head all the time because it's the only place I had. It's not an excuse. It's not just, I'm not justifying it, I'm just saying, but I did everything I could to get better, and I did everything I could where I was to get better. You know, no one, after that first time, after my car got totaled, that was it. I knew that if I didn't go back to Bismarck then, I wasn't done. That was it. People were going to have me help the one time and then forget about it. And I was right. There's a psychology article I read and it was real generalized. And I've probably brought this up before about how with things like chronic pain and mental illness and substance abuse, people eventually, if someone's always in crisis and they're not getting better and things are still going bad all the time, people eventually internalize subconsciously that it must be their fault because they must not be doing something right. They must be, they must not be doing the work they need to get better. They must not be trying hard enough. They must be the chronic pain. Like they must just be like, I've had chronic pain and not believe other people with chronic pain. People are just making it up or just being, it's not that bad, just pick yourself up, go for a walk. And we internalize that and subconsciously because we have to as human beings because we just can't believe, our brains can't wrap themselves around the fact that just arbitrarily people could get really sick or be in a lot of pain from sickness or keep using alcohol or drugs or whatever and keep getting sicker, and it's got to be their fault because otherwise the same thing could happen to us. For no reason we could just lose our minds, lose our lose the lives we knew before. That's chronic pain too. Like lose things and lose people for no reason, and not because we're not trying, and for no fault, just the way it is. And our brains as humans can't be. We can't have that. And that's part of the stigma and the stigma of all of this. I tack chronic pain on there because I've been dealing with that too for the past 6 years, I think. I've had days where I can barely walk here and I'm just a little better, but right now I'm fighting pain all the time and I'm so excited to be here and everything, but it's painful. The pain is painful. Like it hurts to stand, it hurts to walk. It's limited me a lot. It limited me in Butte too because if you don't have a car and you can't get around and it's hard enough to get to appointments, and then when you are in pain, forget about it. Although I got to my appointments there. I did everything. And did I say that already? I took the meds. I'm taking the meds now. I'm on better meds. I don't know. I have community support, but also I sat in that transitional living facility for 7 weeks longer than I was supposed to, or normal, because there's really not any mental health services. You're inpatient at the state hospital if you are just can't really live on your own. And on top of that, maybe even a harm to yourself, and on top of that, a harm to yourself or others. And that's it. And there's no intensive outpatient in mine, not at least. Maybe in Bismarck, maybe in Fargo. So maybe she got in Bismarck. But I mean, so basically I sat, because people come in, not all, come in for crisis, substance abuse. They come in and they do detox, and then they go to a treatment house around here, like a sober house, and then they go to day treatment. I just had 5 times a week, I had an hour of group, so 5 hours a week of group therapy. Like, we had a peer support group, we had a crisis support group, and I had 4 counselor appointments total. And that's about the extent of it right there. The rest of the time I was sitting there watching TV or trying to read or do puzzles or whatever, because there was no programming. And that's just another thing to know, that I haven't really, I'm better. My meds have helped, and the fact that I've made friends here, and I have to be vigilant about keeping them or maintaining them, or making new friendships and building community. It's just changed, but the community's everything. But even just to get this housing thing, it was my appointment, and my case manager was with me, and he saw me in action. My train analogy, I feel like I'm on the train tracks, and I'm tied down or something. I can't move, and the train's coming at me. It's bearing down, and I can't move, but also I'm the train. Like, this interview is going fine, there's no reason why somebody wouldn't rent to me, My 50-year-old, middle-aged 50-year-old white woman. Well, yeah, wait, I have privileged white women who, likes to drink tea and, I play music too loud, but, read books and watch documentaries, basically. Which, by the way, I've watched about 30 since I've been here, so that's good. Anyway, and I made this for somebody, but I'm just going to put this on YouTube, because when I try to make a video for people, like, in general, it just ends up being just a nightmare, because it's like I'm worrying too much about what everybody's going to think. This stuff is important to me. There just aren't the services, and my mom was the same age. She got really sick and had like a psychotic break at the same age as me. And she was sick for years like me. And I know she lost people too. But she had my dad, and he believed her. He believed her, and he believed in her, and she got better. She was never the same person, for better or worse, and a lot of it was for better. A lot of it was just she lost her memory, but from shock treatment. But I want people to remember that, like people, my family maybe, And I want every person with ovaries to know this, or even if you have them removed, because perimenopause, they're declaring it like some countries, like it's a severe mental health crisis for a lot of women, especially if you have pre-existing mental health issues, or you're neurodivergent, like you have autism or on the spectrum, or you have ADHD, and a lot of women aren't diagnosed ever, or until later in life for many reasons, and because women's health isn't studied. And now I'm going to be done talking. I'm sitting at my desk that my cousin Melissa gave me, her and her husband, and I'm looking out across downtown Minot to the library, and I'm looking at my notebook, and I'm going to start writing, I hope. But if I don't, it's okay. I'm just going to sit here in semi-dark, because I can't stand overhead lights, so I'm far enough away from one. I'm eating my vegetables. It feels like forever since I've had raw vegetables. Where I was great, but it was all, there's a lot of chicken patties, let's just put it that way. A lot of chicken patties. A lot of frozen meatballs. And chicken patties. You might be able to see me very well, that's okay. It's more that I need to say that, and I can't write it right now, it's too much. I can't type it because my brain doesn't let me type it fast enough, and I lose my train of thought. Anyway, I love you all, bye.